Hi, this is Gautam from Enrizon, and this is our third update on the coronavirus situation for students who are going abroad for going to the US for their studies in fall 2020. So in this video, we are going to cover three aspects. The first, I'll give you an update on some of the options that few schools have offered to students who are starting in fall 2020. Second, we'll also cover an update on the CPT or internship rules in case someone is doing their fall 2020 semester online and the implications of that. And the third topic that we will cover in this video is fall 2020 versus fall 2021. What are the differences in likely differences in job prospects in the US? Right, so let's get started with the first part of this video, which is an update on options being offered by various schools to students. Right, so I'm going to cover about 5 schools, and I've chosen these based on the variety of options that the schools have offered, so that you will get a sense of the different possibilities that are likely to come up for you for the fall 2020 semester. So the first university is North Carolina State University. They've basically given 3 options. The first is to start on campus on August 16th. The second is to start online for fall 2020 in their distance education option, which they call engineering online. And the third option is to defer to either for spring 2021 or fall 2021. And they've also clarified that they will approve all deferral requests, right? So there is no uncertainty. Now let's talk about Rochester Institute of Technology, right? So again, similar options. You can start on campus in August, or you can complete the fall 2020 semester online and then go to the university for the spring 2021 semester. They've also offered a 10% scholarship to students who would complete their semester online for fall 2020. So that's a incentive or benefit that you would get for completing the semester online. Let's talk about University of Southern California. Now this is interesting because they have a slightly different option that they have offered. So first option is the standard option where you start on campus by August 31. The second option is instead of starting on campus on August 31, they've given you the option to start on campus by October 19, right? Which is almost 6 weeks after the original start date. And the idea is that this will be a more intensive sort of a semester if you start on October 19, because you will pretty much be covering the entire fall semester in about 2 months, right, before the Christmas New Year vacation starts. But that's an option that they've given. Also, they've given you the option to they've given students the option to defer to spring 2021 or fall 2021, right? So that's USC. Now let's talk about University of Illinois at Chicago. Right, so they've also given an option to start on campus in August. They've also given the option to defer to spring 2020 or fall 2021. But what is important to understand here is that it is not an automatic deferral, right? Basically, you will have to put in a request for deferring to whatever semester you choose, and then they will re-evaluate your application along with the pool of other applicants for that particular semester, and then decide whether they can offer you an admit for that semester or not. Right, so that's something different that University of Illinois at Chicago is doing. They again have the option also of doing the fall 2020 semester online and then starting on campus for the spring 2021 semester. The last university that we will cover is Illinois Institute of Technology. What they have indicated right now is that it is most likely that they will delay the start of the first semester, right? So instead of starting by the end of August, they are more likely to start the first semester by end of September or early October. So 4 or 5 weeks delayed start, which gives students more opportunity to get their visas and their other formalities done. They again also have the online option for fall 2020, so that you can do it online and then go to the US, or go to campus for the spring 2021 session. And you also have the option to defer to spring 2021 or fall 2021. Now, one of the interesting things that has said to students, Illinois Tech has said to students, is that in case the student visas, or in case restrictions continue for students from China and other affected countries, it might be beneficial for students from India, because their chances of visa approval might be higher. Now, honestly, I think this is speculation at this point of time. No one really knows what visa restrictions are going to be 2-3 months down the line. So I probably would not read too much into this. But so this will give you a sense of the different options that different universities are offering. And one of the things to note is that almost every university is saying that they plan to conduct on-campus classes for the fall 2020 semester. Right? So every university is saying that, but at the same time they are giving you various options in terms of doing the first semester online in case visas are not done, or some of the universities are also offering the option of a delayed start for the fall 2020 semester. Again, the situation is going to keep on evolving. I think we will have a clearer idea of what really is going to happen by end of May. So my suggestion to everyone would be to keep on preparing as if you are going on campus for the fall 2020 semester, but then reevaluate or keep on reevaluating as more and more information becomes available. It's honestly too early to be deferring your admits at this point of time, because you can defer it as late as June or July without any issues. So there is really no benefit in deferring at this point of time. Okay? So that was the first sort of part of the agenda for this conversation today. Right. Before I move on to the second part of this conversation, in case you are benefiting from the various videos that we've been putting up, I would really encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you don't miss out on all the new updates that we put up. Also, if you like this video so far, do sort of give us a thumbs up so that it shows or gives us an indication that we are adding value to the students. Okay, so now let's look at the second part of this video, and here I'm going to give you an update on the CPT or internship rules as they apply to students in case they do, or in case they choose to do the fall 2020 semester online. Now, if you remember in the previous video, I had indicated that in case you do the fall 2020 semester online, you might not be eligible to do your internship or CPT in summer 2021, right? Because you would not have completed 2 continuous semesters or 1 full academic year on campus. Now, based on information that some of our students have received from universities, I actually have sort of done a reassessment of the rules. We went on to the website of the Department of Homeland Security and read through the actual eligibility criteria for OPT or for CPT or internship. So I'm just going to first read the relevant part of the rule, and then we will come to the interpretation of that rule. Right? So a designated school officer can authorize CPT for an F1 student enrolled at an SEVP certified college or university if the student 1 has been lawfully enrolled on a full-time basis for at least a full academic year. Exception can be made for students in graduate studies whose programs require earlier training. 2 is not studying English as a second language, and 3 has secured a training position. Right? So this is what the rule states. Okay, this is directly from the Department of Homeland Security website. Now let's understand the implications of this. Right? What it says is that you need to be enrolled on a full-time basis for 2 semesters, right, or 1 academic year. It does not talk about online or offline, right? So prima facie, there is no distinction between being enrolled online and offline. It's the only distinction is whether you are enrolled full time, right? And generally for all sort of F1 related issues, enrolled full time typically means doing 9 credit hours per semester, right? So as long as you are enrolled in a program on a full-time basis, which is completing 9 credits per semester for 2 semesters, you should be eligible to do your CPT, right? So no mention of online or offline. Also, they have indicated that an exception exists to this rule if the program requires earlier training, right? So if the university decides that their particular program requires earlier training, that an exception can be made for that. Now, I also went back and looked at what advice universities have given to students, right? Not a lot. I don't have a lot of universities where we have received a response in terms of how they are sort of evaluating or assessing this particular rule. But 3 universities, so out of, we've gotten responses from 4 universities, right? Out of which 3, New York University, University of Florida, and Rochester Institute of Technology. These 3 universities have said that their interpretation of the rule is that online or offline does not matter. As long as you are enrolled full time, you will be able to do your internship after completing the first 2 semesters, right? So if you do your fall semester online and if you do your spring 2021 semester on campus, you should be okay to do your CPT or internship in the summer 2020, in summer 2021, right? There is, however, one university, North Carolina State University, which has indicated that their interpretation is that you have to be on campus for 2 years, for 2 semesters to be able to do your CPT or internship. So I sort of dug a little more into this situation with North Carolina State University, and one of the things that I realized is that when NCSU is offering you the option to do the online semester, it is not in their normal graduate program, right? So it is in a different program which they call engineering online. So you would actually be doing the first semester in the engineering online program, and then from the second semester you would be sort of transitioning to the normal full-time graduate program at NCSU. So at this point of time, that is my interpretation or analysis, that North Carolina State University is not allowing that because their online program is actually a different program and not a normal sort of graduate program which you are doing online just because you are not able to go to the university, which is what the case is with other universities like NYU, University of Florida, or Rochester, right? So at this point of time, my analysis of the situation is that if you are enrolled full time, right, which is at least 9 credits per semester in a normal graduate program at the university, it does not matter whether it is online or on campus, but as long as you are enrolled in a full-time program, you will be able to do your CPT in summer 2021, right? Now I will obviously keep track of this in terms of the feedback that we receive from various universities, and as and when there are updates, I will keep on updating you, right? Now let's talk about the third item that we have for discussion today, right? Which is how are job prospects likely to be for fall 2020 intake versus fall 2021 intake, right? So just a little bit of background. Because of the coronavirus situation, most economies around the world, including the US, are sort of suffering quite a bit. The expectation, at least for the US, is that this quarter, which is April to June, the economy might see a contraction of almost maybe 25 to 30%, and then things will improve from the next quarter onwards, and their expectation is that the economy will revive very quickly, right? But who knows, right? It's something that only time will tell. But irrespective of what happens with the economy for the rest of the year, I think we can be pretty sure that 2 years down the line, which is when you are going to start to graduate, the economy would have revived, right? And jobs will be back, opportunities will be there. So it does not really matter what the situation of the economy is in April 2020. What really matters is what the situation of the economy is going to be in 2022 or 2023, right? So think about it from that perspective, right? Short term, there is going to be pain for the economy, but the economy will come back, revive, and things will get better at some point of time, either later this year or during the next year. Now let's compare what the differences are likely to be if you join fall 2020 versus deferring to fall 2021. Right? So if you join in fall 2020, when do you graduate? You graduate in May 2022. If you join in fall 2021, you graduate in May 2023. Right? Now, given the uncertainty that exists today, and given that the uncertainty is likely to continue for a while, it's quite likely that many students will defer their admits from fall 20 to fall 2021, right? What that is going to mean is that fall 2020 intake will have will be a much smaller intake, right? The number of students taking admission in every university on an average for fall 2020 will be much lower. Compared to that, fall 2021 is going to be a much larger intake, right? Because not only will it have the normal students who are applying for fall 2021, it will also have all of the students who have deferred from fall 2020 to fall 2021, right? So it will be a much larger intake, which also means that the number of students graduating in May 2022, right, which is your fall for students starting in fall 2020, will be much less compared to the number of students graduating in May 2023, right? So if you are graduating, or if you are starting in fall 2020, and if you are graduating in May 2022, you're probably going to get the benefit of not too many students graduating at that point of time comparatively, which will give you access to more sort of career opportunities, right? Which could either mean better roles or higher salaries, etc. Right? So this is actually my sort of analysis. I actually think from a jobs perspective, from a careers perspective, going for fall 2020 might be a better option than deferring to fall 2021, just because you're going to have a much lower number of students graduating along with you and higher economic opportunities. So great. So we've covered all these three topics today. I hope it was useful to you. Keep on looking out for further updates and further videos that we will keep on posting. Please follow our channel and like this video if it added value to you. Thank you.